Hey y'all, welcome back. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Norfolk Southern Princeton-Deepwater Division in HO scale. This is Todd Arnett's incredible recreation of Appalachian railroading, heavy coal trains, and fall scenery. So for the next few minutes, enjoy. Let's go ahead and get started. This is Motoki Yard, and it is the hub of the railroad. Todd Arnett has really created a coal hauling railroad here in the heart of the Appalachian Mountains. And this is a hub where engines are serviced, coal trains are sorted, and staged to head up into the mines. So this railroad is really designed with operations in mind. I want to take a look at some of those unique operations before we actually take a look at a tour of the layout itself. We're just east of Motoki Yard, and here a westbound empty coal train is arriving from points east and headed into the yard. On a railroad, there's typically two types of assignments that crews are given. There's either road jobs or local jobs, and both of those are really modeled here on the layout, which add to operations. Road jobs are larger freight trains that operate over the main line, and they go from point A to point B. Meanwhile, local jobs originate and terminate at the same location, and the crew is able to end their day at the same place that they started. This empty coal train is a road job, and the crew's just arrived from staging yard, which represents points east. That would be power plants, a transloading facility, or any place that receives coal. That train is going to be staged in the yard until the mine's ready to take it. Meanwhile, back on the east end of Motoki Yard, a local crew is just beginning their assignment. This train originates and terminates in Motoki Yard. The crew is going to take the power out of the engine shop with permission from the tower, couple up to the empty coal cars, and take them up to the mine. Once they're at the mine, they'll swap them out for some loads and return those back to the yard here, where they'll be sorted and built into an outbound train. We catch up with the local job, taking empties into the arrival track here at the mine. There's also a mine switcher here, which they're going to have to coordinate with to make their movements. So they're going to drop off the empty cars on the arrival track. A local job in the coal fields is more commonly known as a mine run. I guess that's because they're running to the mine and back. But after uncoupling from the inbound train, they're going to proceed onto the runaround track and then head back to the other side of the yard. Meanwhile, the coal mine switcher, which is carried out by a small 4-axle GE locomotive, is going to push the empties out of the way and stage them for loading once the mine run leaves. Meanwhile, the crew is going to couple up to the loaded outbound cars destined for Motoki and eventually points east. Once the loaded coal train has left and is headed back towards Motoki, the mine job can begin loading the empty hoppers. They'll then stage them back in the holding yard, and the cycle will continue. Once the mine run has returned back to the yard, they're going to stage their inbound train and take the power back to the shops, where the local crew will finish their shift. Meanwhile, a yard job is going to build an outbound loaded coal train, which will later be staged and picked up by a road crew, which is going to take that over the main line and to points east. As you can see, Todd has really created an incredible layout built around operations here, and one of my favorite things that he's done here is an example to show you that you can do all of this in a moderately small space. This is a bedroom layout, which is 12 by 18 feet with a few odd cutouts here and there. And as you can see, it's not just a loop of track around the outside. It has 3 different yards, 4 different destinations, main line running with crossovers, a branch line, and a mine. All of that fit into one bedroom, and on top of that, great scenery and realistic model railroading. We'll go ahead and begin our layout tour here at Motoki. There's a small engine facility, which is the 2 foreground tracks, and the 2 arrival tracks are in the background of this scene. Meanwhile, the middle yard tracks are built for sorting and staging for various inbound and outbound trains. I wanted to show you this part of the layout tour after the operations to kind of show you how everything fit into the first half of this video and just how well this layout's designed into the space it's been given and is really built, like I've mentioned, around operations. So headed east out of Motoki, there's the double main track and the small branch line here, which we'll take a look at, that heads into the mine. Here at the mine, there's the arrival track, which is in the background. That's where the mine runs bring the empty cars and are dropped off. Meanwhile, there's a run-through track in the middle of the yard. And also here at the mine, there's about 5 different holding tracks for loaded cars. Those are going to be staged there until a mine run's able to pick them up and, like we saw, take them back to Motoki Yard. A couple facts about the layout. It's built at chest level, so it's relatively high compared to others I've seen, but I actually like that because it almost puts you more at eye level of the railroad, and something that I think is a really neat feature of Todd's layout. He uses code 83 track, and as you can see, really large mainline radiuses, I believe anywhere from 32 to 34 inches, which you can see here, and get a good feel for the schematic to see how the layout really fits into this room. Continuing eastbound out of Motoki and past the mine, there's a small branch line in the background which descends, dips into a tunnel, and heads towards staging. Meanwhile, the main lines here in the foreground continue through a double crossover. This is a dispatcher-controlled crossover at the location known as Bobcat. And as you can see, the scenery here is just about complete, and really an incredible job of capturing a fall scenery and fall day here in the Appalachian Mountains. Fall scenery is something you don't see modeled that often, and something that I believe Todd's done a really great job at here. The 2 double-track main lines continue over the door to the room and to Princeton, represented here by staging. As you can see, it really is an incredible layout designed with operations in mind, and I want to thank Todd for the opportunity to visit and share it with you guys. As always, thanks for watching. If you have any questions, let me know in the comment section below, and I'll see you next time.